Picture this. You're sitting in your car outside your own apartment, staring at the front door, and for some reason, you're afraid to go inside. You spent the last 6 months being the perfect gentleman. You listen to her problems with genuine concern. You offer thoughtful advice, and you've made her feel understood in ways she's never experienced before. Friends and family think she's perfect, but lately you started questioning your own memory, your own judgment, and your own sanity. You feel constantly guilty for things you can't remember doing wrong, and you're exhausted from walking on emotional landmines that appear without warning. Brother, you've encountered what psychologists call the shadow, the unconscious darkness that some people carry like an invisible virus, infecting everyone around them with unresolved toxicity. You think your kindness is an investment, but in reality, you've just become an emotional janitor, taking responsibility for emotions you didn't create and solving problems you didn't cause. In the modern relationship marketplace, you are currently suffering from a respect recession. You believe your patience is a virtue, but to her, it's a worthless currency. This happens through a process called selective response syndrome. She doesn't intentionally ignore your calm requests. Her brain simply processes them as suggestions that can be considered later or forgotten entirely. When you say, "I'd really appreciate it if you could let me know when you're running late," her tone-deaf filtering system joins the queue of hundreds of other inputs. Because your tone signals that the issue isn't urgent, her brain naturally prioritizes more pressing concerns. It is only when you finally snap, when you finally raise your voice in frustration, that she actually responds. Through differential reinforcement based on emotional intensity, she has accidentally trained you to become the angry monster she claims to hate, because that is the only volume her software responds to. The villain in this story isn't a person, it's the raw, unfiltered algorithm hard-coded into human DNA over millions of years. Evolution didn't program women to prioritize your individual comfort. It programmed them to conduct quality assurance testing on your masculine core to ensure resource availability and protection. From an evolutionary perspective, a man who can be easily manipulated or controlled is a man who cannot protect the tribe from real-world threats. When you act overly accommodating, her biology doesn't see kindness, it sees genetic inferiority. This triggers a biological disgust response that kills her attraction faster than ice melting in hell. She is running Stone Age software in a digital world, and your nice guy approach is giving her the blue screen of death. You've fallen into the performance trap, where your marriage has transitioned from a mutual exchange into a permanent evaluation. She has positioned herself as the judge of your adequacy, while exempting herself from any similar scrutiny. Every interaction becomes an assembly line producing the same devastating question: am I the problem here? You've developed what I call domestic Stockholm syndrome, where you identify with your captor's goals and defend the very system that exploits you. You tell yourself that sacrifice equals love, and that your own discomfort is just being a man. But look at the math. Your wife's love is fundamentally conditional, based on your utility rather than your intrinsic worth. The moment you stop functioning as a Swiss Army knife of resources, emotional support, financial provision, and status, that love begins to evaporate. I coached a guy last year, a successful entrepreneur who built a six-figure empire and could fire underperforming staff without blinking. In the boardroom, he was a lion, but at home, he was a donkey. His girlfriend would disappear for days with weak excuses, and he'd just accept it because he wanted to be understanding. He was mentally rehearsing apologies for buying the wrong brand of yogurt, while his soul was methodically dismantled piece by piece. He didn't realize that the moment you tolerate disrespect, you've already lost. not just the relationship, but yourself. By the time he came to see me, his independent life had been dismantled until he was psychologically and economically trapped. He had become a power plant for someone else's dreams, while his own spirit starved. Our entire culture is currently running an authority elimination project designed to remove male leadership from the home. Turn on any TV show or movie, and you'll see the bumbling idiot father getting saved by the smart, capable mother. We've normalized the complete devaluation of what men offer, telling you that your 60-hour work week is the bare minimum, while her contribution is reduced to just showing up. Modern marriage has eliminated the female role while doubling the masculine burden. You are expected to be the provider, protector, leader, and now the co-housekeeper and emotional support system, all while receiving zero authority in return. The system can't survive honest analysis, so it uses shame and social pressure to keep you from thinking clearly about the deal you signed. You think that being reliable and consistent is attractive, but you've actually become boring. Women are wired to be attracted to challenge, mystery, and the unknown. When you make her your entire world and clear your schedule for her, you communicate that you have zero other options. This signals low sexual market value. Perceived value is more powerful than actual value. The man with an abundance mindset who playfully teases a woman will always outrank the successful lawyer who begs for her validation. If you need her validation to feel worthy, you've entered the validation death spiral, communicating that you don't believe in your own worth, and if you don't believe it, why should she? If you want to flip the dynamic, you have to be willing to use the verbal nuclear codes. These are the words that absolutely destroy the female ego because they hold up a mirror to her ordinary nature. When she tests you with drama or threats of leaving, use the agreement method. She says, maybe I should just find someone who appreciates me. The weak man begs. The strong man says, you're absolutely right. You deserve someone who makes you happy, and clearly that isn't me. I'll help you pack. By agreeing instead of defending, you break the entire framework of the test. The person who needs less holds all the power in the relationship. When you genuinely don't need her approval to feel complete, you become irreplaceable because you're the first man she can't control. The path to protection isn't being nicer, it's psychological sovereignty. You must develop a mission and a purpose so compelling that relationship drama seems trivial by comparison. You must be willing to be seen as the bad guy and stop participating in your own destruction. Reality is undefeated, and it doesn't care about your Disney fantasies of unconditional love. Your grandmother's marriage is not available to you. That contract no longer exists. You can keep shrinking yourself to fit under her ever-growing crown, or you can reclaim your backbone and live as a whole person again. The red button is in front of you. Push it and see reality as it actually is, or keep wondering why your loyalty is being rewarded.